If you want a community to support you in the next phase of your career, join the Trusted Advisor Program.
All right, welcome to the official launch of the EDC Trusted Advisor Program. We've been working on this for a while, haven't we, guys?
We have.
It's been quite a journey. Maybe I know that Danielle, who you just saw in the intro, is going to join us in just a moment. But maybe this would be an interesting time, Roel and Dennis, if we could jump back to, what was it, 2 years ago, when we recorded this.
So we will take people on a journey towards trusted advisorship, a journey which is not finite, right? So it's infinite. You can study as long as you want. We help you with skills and with knowledge. But even better, we help you with your attitude. And that can only happen if you are in a group with your peers who help you do that. We give you the feedback, who help you to grow together on this journey of becoming a trusted advisor.
So we're at the end of a journey, and I think I have made some amazing steps, not only in my thinking, but also in my doing. I think with my hands, and I create the images that people need to find the paths to actually implement what we did during this amazing program. And I would say the most important thing that came to mind was the fact that we need to connect that thinking, that potential, everything that we're doing. And that's an amazing step to make, and I hope to make that visible for anybody who is willing to make those steps to reach their biggest goals.
The EDC program is for anyone that needs to advise others and be trusted whilst doing that. We've taken 4 years of development with this program, prototyping it and testing it on over 35 professionals who are certified event designers. Now, this program is intended for anyone that is both a certified event designer or up for designing change and designing time in the future. Overcoming your short-term obstacles, but mostly your long-term horizon of change, defining what it looks like to reach an overarching aim, is really what this program brings you. You're going to do that under the leadership of your very own trusted advisors, mentors, but also the peers that may have done this program before or will be doing it for the first time. So if you're a change maker and you're decisive about the type of investment you want to make in yourself, check out the EDC Trusted Advisor Program.
Well, that was then, and this is now. Sometime later, we've made quite a series of recordings. We have made progress, I think, in the program. Roel, tell us what has transpired in the meantime.
So we asked ourselves, like, how can we bottle up something which we started in the mastermind programs under the guidance of Paul Wilkins, who was our headmaster at those times. We were very inspired by him talking about how to build a business, how to grow a business, but also how to not only grow a business, but also your Me Inc. could be like your personal. You're the president of your Me Inc. That's what Paul introduced us to. And we said, like, how can we bottle this up and how can we make it available to many more people? Because when people have become certified event designers or attended an EDC program, then they are skilled in applying event design and facilitating the process. But that doesn't make you a great consultant or a trusted advisor. So how can we get people to a level where they can be a better trusted advisor? So that was the game. But one of the perimeters or the boundaries, so to say, of that program was a little bit different, because we had we work on a global scale. We want to involve as many people as possible. We decided to move this all online. So that is what we did, what we have done, and we have actually talked to our team, but also invited a few more people we have actually consulted over the past few years. So Paul Wilkins, I mentioned already, Dave Bancroft Turner, who actually was already with us in 2016 when we wrote the book on the Event Design Handbook. And he was responsible for the chapter 7 in the book about lead methodology and about the stakeholder alignment exercise we're regularly doing, and which is now part of our process. Now, we also have in the past years used the services and the wisdom of Danielle de Jong, who actually helped us as a team, as a company, to grow ourselves, right? So, and we actually said, like, how beautiful would it be to combine all these different people in the program and to build on top of what we actually have done in the Design to Change book and make that available to many more people.
Awesome. So imagine that there's this book, right? And maybe Dennis, the not just the visuals in the book, the story of the book, the design to change, the thinking behind it, the application of event design. How have you experienced getting to where we are right now? And what do you think people should expect from this?
Well, the experience of the last couple of years has been one of expansion of the mind, getting not only to the point that you need to connect with people on a practical level, but you need to understand them on a systemic level and invite them into a space where people get to entertain possibility and opportunity and potential. And that's difficult. It's a difficult space to get to. But when we follow the program, I would say that has been put together very well also by Paul, and literally follow it ourselves. I would say I've been able to identify things for myself, for clients, all potentials leading back to performance. And it becomes a habit. It becomes something that you can actually repeat, which I would say over only a couple of years feels like I've done an education that has actually helped me to practically move myself along and my clients with me. So I think it's been a good journey.
Yeah. So lots of learning cubes, lots of stuff that's coming your way. Step 1 in event design, when you go through the EDC Trusted Advisor Program, you're going to explore and assess the skills to design to change. Now, those skills, we elaborate on them between Roel, Dennis, and myself, and we have backstage conversations about the content of the book with worksheets. And then a very important thing is, right as you get to module 2, is becoming a trusted advisor. Now, one of our trusted advisors is Paul Wilkins, and I'm going to throw the mic to Paul in just a moment. But first, here's a little sneak peek.
Do you know what keeps your clients awake at night? It's a risk. And do you know how to use it to double your business? If you want to know, join the Trusted Advisor Program.
All right, so Paul, tell us what's in this second module on becoming a trusted advisor and developing your Me Inc. blueprints.
The key element you already mentioned, it's Me Inc. And what does that mean? It means it's a concept understanding that you're the president of your own little service company. And maybe you run your own company already, or maybe you're working for an organization. So you have one client at that point, but you're the president of your own little service company. And the interesting thing is, once you accept that mindset, once you understand that mindset, all of a sudden you got all the tools and techniques available that presidents and CEOs have to drive their own business. So in this module, we're going to explore those tools, and we'll look at 3 areas. The first one is how to create clarity for yourself. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to achieve. This is my vision, but also how do I connect with others to make it happen? The second thing is we talk about focus. There are a million ways of trying to achieve your goals, but some of them are fun, give you a lot of energy. So those are the ones you need to have. And there we introduce the concept of the Valley of Death. Now that sounds very scary, but once you understand it's coming, you know how to deal with the Valley of Death. And the third element that we're going to explore is execution, how to get it done. And these are the tools, the techniques, which will help you to transform into a lean, mean execution machine. And that's the mission for a trusted advisor, because then you are very successful there. So those are the building blocks which you can apply, which you learn in this program. Now, in the end, you will be able to consistently achieve big goals in the laziest way possible. That's the overall objective of this element of the trusted advisorship. And not because you're lazy, because you're working very hard, but here's the thing. If you can go from A to B in the laziest way possible, all of a sudden you've got time and energy left to do all kinds of cool stuff, like hanging out with us on an occasion like this. So that's the mission there.
Thank you, Paul. And I know that the wisdom nuggets that you don't just bring very, very eloquently, but also what I know is that when you start practicing them and you see how easy/difficult they are when you get to a deeper level of understanding. One of the hallmarks, I think, of this program, as it's been built over the last 5 years, has really been that there's a community of support of people that are all in that same boat together. But at the same time, you and all of the others in this call, the 6 coaches, are available to you when you are in that valley of death, or when you're constructing your horizon of change, or when you're running into that owner conversation where you think, how did I get myself stuck here, right? And how do I get unstuck? There are many different options and things. And on that note, let me introduce Dave Bancroft-Turner, also a dear old friend who's currently cruising the coastline of Ireland, as you can probably see. And we'll jump over to him in a moment, Dave. But let's look at one of his shots.
You've never tried this before, have you? Join the Trusted Advisor Program.
All right, so Dave, why should we practice conversations when it comes to event ownership, event design, and becoming trusted advisors?
Well, I think one of the key attributes of becoming a trusted advisor is the ability to actually influence other people. And I'm really taken by what Paul has just said about trying to do it in the laziest way possible, because what I bring to the party is how to make life really simple and easy to understand in terms of how do I influence others. So if you want to be successful in life, and of course all of us do, we may in fact measure that in different ways. For some people it may be money, for some people it may be profile, for others it may be a large family, etc., etc. We all measure success differently. But if you want to be successful, you only have to be good at 2 things in your life. One is what you do, and the second is how you do it. And I am completely obsessed with the how. So how is it that you can influence other people to achieve your own objective, but also for them to achieve their objectives as well? So I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm talking about how do you influence other human beings to come around to your way of thinking. And we use a very simple process that's easy to understand, a model that's been tested scientifically over many, many years. But what I've done is to actually make it very, very simple for people to understand. And then overlaying on top of that, the ability to manage the politics of your workplace, but also the politics of your client workplaces. And sometimes people call this the dark arts. I was also taken with Paul's description of the valley of death. It's a bit like that at times for people. But what we also help people with is to manage the politics within your client organizations. And if you want a quick definition of what I'm actually talking about, it's how do decisions really get made? I'm not talking about how the company says they are made. In order to influence people in your client organizations, you really have to understand how decisions get made in their workplace.
Yeah. Now, people are probably watching this and figuring out, why should I become an event design trusted advisor? What's this trusted advisorship all about? And maybe here's a little exercise that might ring a bell or put a smile in your mind. So one of the things that you're going to encounter in module 4, which is where you start practicing the conversations, is where you're going to take this knowledge that the nuggets of both the behavioral preferences, but also the workplace politics get put to use. And I'd like to play one of those examples of a conversation that we recorded with you, Dave, where you're pretending to be one of these people. You're actually pretty good at it. And so we're going to ask people to think about, what characteristics does this person show, right? Are they revealing or concealing? Are they thoughtful or talkful? What's really their preference? And then see if you can identify, is this person a gatekeeper or are they a buyer? Now, Dave, what's the definition of a gatekeeper versus a buyer? Can you, or maybe Paul, I don't know who wants to jump in here.
Let me jump in. A gatekeeper is someone who can say no but cannot say yes.
Quite simple, right? And a buyer is?
Someone who can say yes and can move at the point, at that very moment.
Exactly. It sounds also simple. It's also very annoying that these people can make things so simple, but when you then have to apply it, oh my God, it's brain racking, right? So little Dennis and I, we've experienced this over and over again. And it's only by practicing over and over again that you get this. And in the meantime, Danielle has also joined us. Hello, Danielle. Thanks for joining in. We're gonna get to Danielle in a minute about limiting beliefs and some of those really valuable nuggets that, unless you capture that, any of the stuff you're going to learn here is not useful at all, right? So, but first, let's look at the sample conversation. So look at what is the preference of this person, right? Are they an action preference, a difference preference? Are they an empathy preference, or are they a logical preference? Now, if you forgot what that means, in chapter 4 of the book, and Dave explains all of this, but have a look at this, but mostly look at, is it a buyer or a gatekeeper? Here we go.
Yeah. No, I don't want that. Just do as I say. Yeah. Okay, got it? Yeah, bye. Come on in. No, don't sit down. We're not going to be that long. Now, I've got to design, we've got to design an event for, I don't know when, it's March next year, first quarter. Don't ask me about the dates. I just don't know yet. First quarter of March next year, 135 or so salespeople. It might not be 135, depending on how many we sack between then and now. No, that's just my joke. But I don't know about the numbers. Budget is always an issue, but what I really don't want is I don't want one of these events where you tie me up to other people or put me in a ball and roll me downhill. So, can you come up with a design for me? And I want that as soon as possible, latest 2 days' time.
All right, so there's Dave, in his impersonation of one of these different types of characters. Now, we've asked in the chat, and maybe at the end, Dave, you can give us, the clues as to whether this was a buyer or a gatekeeper and what their preference is. But before we do that, I'd like to jump over to Danielle and welcome you to this live stream that we're having on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. Limiting beliefs, Danielle. How important are they?
Well, we're talking about trusted advisors, right? And to be a trusted advisor, you have to be able to influence other people and get your thoughts from your head into someone else's head, and to help them understand where you're coming from and what you want to do, and really what they want to do. And so to get through that, you have to have the confidence to know that you can help people, and to know that you can help them understand what they're trying to accomplish. And one of the things that can get in the way is just your limiting beliefs about yourself and whether or not you're able to step into that role. And so we go through something with my clients to help them uncover this. And we did this as part of this program. So what are you looking to uncover?
And so, Danielle, if I may, I'm going to play a little clip, which is the beginning of that exercise that you take us through, right? So I know one of the reasons why Will and I were so excited with all of you actually is that we've experienced what you do over and over again because you've improved the performance of our company, of ourselves, and you are our trusted advisors. And I know that many of the people in, smaller companies, or maybe they're solopreneurs or, getting into third or fourth careers, sometimes it's really hard to have access to the types of skills and coaching and executive support that you guys are able to provide. And we wanted to break down that barrier. So allow me to just play a little clip of that, and then we can reflect on that maybe a little bit more, knowing that we have about 9 minutes left on this one. But there's 6 hours of this goodness that you can have at edco.global.cte. You see the ticker on the bottom of the screen. Let's play that for a second.
Okay, welcome back. Now we are going to discuss an exercise on limiting beliefs and moving beyond them. So we've talked a lot about behavior change in the Trusted Advisor Program and moving someone from one set of behaviors to a different set of behaviors, but really what underlies it's your thought patterns, it's your value system, it's your belief systems, and the belief systems can be really powerful for shaping how you think and then how you act. So we want to observe and explore some beliefs that may be holding us back from moving into our true potential and from being that trusted advisor that can help change behavior for others. So let's do an exercise on limiting beliefs and moving past them. And we're going to train our brains to rewire and rethink about these limiting beliefs and to reframe them into possibilities. So for this exercise, grab some sticky notes, grab your pen. We're going to do this in a similar fashion, one idea per sticky. And I want you to consider and think about, what are the beliefs that have been holding you back? These are probably from very early childhood, something that's been going on in your mind. It's the negative talk track you hear when you question yourself or you're feeling underconfident. So let's take 5 minutes, one idea per sticky note. What is holding you back right now? What are the beliefs holding you back?
So what you'll see is that the exercises are not just rapid fire things that shoot from the hip, but in this case, Danielle takes us through the exercise and you do the whole stretch together with Roel and myself. We sat down and physically did it, and we encourage you to step into that zone and do it with us. I think, Danielle, your approach there is quite interesting, because I don't know what it is, but you are able to make Roel and me write down things that we would never write down if it was just the two of us. But there's something about being in the space with others doing something at the same time.
Yeah. Well, all of the answers are within you. You just have to open the space and ask the question, and then see what comes up. And this way of approaching things with design thinking and with game storming and what's top of mind, put it down on paper, make it tangible, make it, be able to move it around. It really creates something powerful. So thank you both for, being willing to do that on camera in front of everyone and now sharing it with your community.
Well, it was a real treat and a joy to do it, Danielle. Thank you for taking the time to do that with us. Now, the skill sets that Paul and Dennis and Dave and Danielle and Roel and myself have acquired over time, we want to make those available to all of you. So our objective is to open that box of time together. But maybe, Roel, can you? What I'd like to do is maybe share the screen of what does the program look like and how does it work, nuts and bolts, in the last 5 minutes, just so people know what they can be nominated for and how that could work in practice. Do you want me to share the screen and just?
Yeah, please share the screen.
Yeah.
I think where it comes down to is that many people find it hard to be part of important decisions, build strong relationships, or be seen as a valuable leader in big projects. And without the right skills, it's tough to make a difference or help the team succeed. The Certified Trusted Advisor Program helps you to learn how to be a trusted advisor and make real impact. And this program helps you to learn how to have smart conversations and make important decisions, and how other people make those decisions. You'll discover tips for clear communication and planning, so you're always prepared. And each lesson is carefully designed to build your skills step by step, giving you useful tools you can easily use every day. That's where it comes down to. And on our website, so there's an explanation of the program, but it's all bottled up in different modules. And the biggest part of what we will doing, or where we leave from, I would say, is our Design to Change book. It's a very big recommendation to read the book. But if you don't have time to read it, you can also use the audiobook, which is included in our program, where you can actually listen to Anthony Vade, who is actually narrating the book and reading it out to you, which is a very different way of learning. I would definitely recommend you to do that. But also the executive summaries from Paul from the book. Now, from the book on, right, we would like to work on use the book as the fundament and work on a different layer, where we actually go into a whole series of lessons Paul Wilkins is trying to teach us about becoming a trusted advisor, right? That consists of different modules, and every module has a video clip and has the transcription of the video clip to it. And many of those have also some extra quizzes and some extra topics to it, where you actually can dive deeper, right? So there's different ways how you can actually interact. And although we recommend to consume the full learning linear, there's also a way to actually jump from one lesson to the other to make you much more to make it easier to navigate. But also it might be that you heard some of these topics before, if you were part of maybe a mastermind series, or you heard Paul or another speaker talk before. There is also some great visuals by our dear friend Dennis, who actually help you to not only consume what's in the modules, but also make sure you reflect and you set goals and you visualize those, as Danielle was just saying, making sure that you capture the full journey, because at the end of the journey, you will be you will have created your own business plan for the Me Inc. Right? So we would like to capture everything you learn, have you reflect on that, and to make sure that you also harvest those reflections and set them as goals and use them regularly in your daily practice to say, hey, this is where I am right now, this is where I was, but also this is where I will be going. And then there is some great reflections on the book by Dennis, Ruud, and myself, where we actually think about the different elements of the Design to Change book, but also different elements of what Paul is helping us to get under the belt, right? So some reflections from us, understanding exchanging what we understand from Paul Wilkins, and actually have a discussion around that. Very short, very sweet, but could be enriching. And then we have, of course, Dave Bancroft-Turner and Danielle de Jong helping us to see it from a different point of view, from workplace politics to the lead model, how to influence people, but also to how to get away from your limiting beliefs, and maybe also interesting to look at some other exercises which actually put you in a different zone, because this is a lot of consumption through your screen, and sometimes it's also good to put on your earpods and get to walk and listen to the story in a different way.
Absolutely. I realize that we're getting to the top of the hour. This is so much fun. We could go on for hours and hours, which we do in the program, by the way. Tell us, how does it work to sign up to become one of these certified trusted advisors?
So it's very simple, right? So we have actually created a program, as I said at the beginning, how to scale all these beautiful nuggets. And the idea is to make it available as at a very reasonable price point. You can get access to all these modules for 555 euros, 555, and that gives you access to all these different nuggets, but also quizzes and some and visuals, reflections, access to the mural pages. But there is more. That would be learning alone. There is also something else, which actually there's another package which actually enables you to learn this with others, learn this with your mentors. That would be the same program as I mentioned earlier, and then it is including the executive leadership of our 6 coaches, and so learning together, where you can actually talk about your reflections and share those and get some feedback on them from different perspectives. That would be learning with your mentors. Those are 2 different programs which actually enable you to succeed and become a trusted advisor. Because ultimately, we would like to give you a certificate of achievement of becoming a certified trusted advisor. But then, obviously, we need to assess whether you have actually done some hard work, because it's not an easy thing. It's hard work, but then hard work pays off, right? So that's the idea here. Back to you, Ruud.
So, very basic. All of those that are certified event designers have already been nominated, which is great. You've received an email today. All you need to do is schedule a call with one of us, and we're gonna have a conversation about what the things are you want to learn as a result of becoming a trusted advisor. There are then 2 choices. If you're not nominated yet, because this is not just for certified event designers, this is for anyone that wants to become a trusted advisor, you can ask to be nominated. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk a little bit about what you want to get out of the program. We may invite you to become a guest on our podcast as well, the Design to Change podcast, to assess your progress over time. The most important thing, I think, is not just learning all of the nuggets of content, it's in the application, creating the success environment. I know the 6 people on this screen right here are very dedicated to make a success environment for you and for us. They've done it for us before. We know it works, so we trust it. What it means is that you have to make an investment, 1,995 euros, to get the program and 5 hours of consulting from the brilliant brainpower in this room for yourself. Alternatively, you can just do the online program, like Hull said, and then decide if you want to do the coaching later. And then you pay a mere 555 euros, if I'm not mistaken, which is 6 hours of delicious content that you can consume and really dig into over and over again. I know we've consumed it multiple times, we've recorded it. I learn every time I hear a bit of this, and there's still so much to learn. It's ridiculous. Good. I want to thank Danielle, Dave, for stopping your, what do you officially call the device that you're in right now, Dave?
Well, it's a motorhome and not a camper van.
Okay.
And I can tell your viewers the difference. It's about 20,000 euros.
So there's something in the name about that. Thank you, Danielle, for joining. I really enjoyed all of the interactions and ways that you make us think, and I think you bring a lot of gems to this. Dave, thank you for provoking us and recording conversations that have been extremely valuable and challenging. You turn the world upside down sometimes. Paul, thank you for sparking, as I think the first one in this whole series, really giving us super valuable content and framing it. I think as we learn, Dennis has done incredible jobs of hitting it over the head with his hammer and turning it into magical templates and visuals that can help you think, and
which are changing over time, which will get better.
Exactly, right?
Better
so
every time.
You have to go back to them every time. So you get murals, you get all the stuff you need, all the goodness that you're used to from the Event Design Collective. Thank you, everyone that made this happen. Also, thank you to Marie-France Watson, who helped put together the back office of this monstrous machine that we're building. Apply today. We look forward to seeing you very soon, and thank you for being part of this online